Good evening, everyone. My name is Nur Idlandani bin Rizal, and today I'll be presenting my individual project titled An Alternative Visual Solution to the Cereal Box Challenge. And for this task, I decided to apply a problem-solving strategy called Solve a Simpler Problem. So let's get on with it. Okay, so to begin, the original challenge involves comparing two brands of breakfast cereal, which is brand A and brand B, that come in different sizes and prices. So the goal is to determine which one offers the best value for money. So like I choose the solve a simpler problem strategy because it helps make complex problem easier to handle by breaking them into smaller but more manageable parts. And this approach helps me think clearly and reduce the difficulty of the calculations. So for the next slide, here is the situation. So if you look at the table, we have two brands, which is brand A and brand B. Brand A weighs 450 grams and costs about 5 ringgit 40 cents, while brand B weighs about 1,200 grams and costs about 13 ringgit 20 cents. So if we calculate directly in kilograms, it can get a bit confusing, especially when decimals are involved. So instead, I decided to simplify the problem by finding the cost per 100 grams of instead of per kilogram. So this makes the number smaller and easier to compare. Okay, now there are some justification for my method using the simpler method. One of them is it makes the complex problem feel easy and intuitive. Instead of calculating cost per kilogram, which involves decimals, we can find cost per 100 gram that uses simpler whole numbers that are easier to work with mentally. Next, many people compare prices while shopping. So, if we look at the prices per 100 gram, it's a common supermarket strategy that shoppers naturally understand. And third, by solving a simpler version first, we build confidence before tackling the original problem, which the steps feel more manageable and less intimidating. And lastly, we are using 100 gram instead of 1 kilogram. Even though the mathematical reasoning is identical, we are still finding a unit rate just with a different simpler unit. Okay, now for the next step, solving the syrup box problem using simpler method. So the step one is choose a simpler unit. Instead of finding cost per 1,000 grams, which is around 1 kilogram, let's instead find the cost per 100 grams. This is easier because 100 is a round number that divides evenly. So step 2 is solve the simpler problem. So for brand A, 450 grams cost about 5 ringgit 40 cents. So cost per 100 gram, we just divide 450 to 100, which we can get about 4.5. So the calculation for this is 5 ringgit 40 cents divided by 4.5. We will get 1 ringgit 20 cents per 100 gram. So that is for brand A. While for brand B, uh, for brand B is 1,200 grams cost 13 ringgit 20 cents. So to turn the kilograms to grams, we will divide the 1,200 to 100. So we will get 12 gram. So the calculation for this is 13 ringgit 20 cent divided by 12, which we can get is 1 ringgit 10 cent per 100 gram. For the next step, we will compare the simpler results. For brand A, we will get 1 ringgit 20 cents per 100 gram. For brand B, we will get 1 ringgit 10 cents per 100 gram. So the conclusion for this is brand B is cheaper per 100 gram and it offers a better value than brand A. So step 4 for the last step is we will connect back to the original problem. So if brand B is cheaper per 100 gram, then it will definitely be cheaper per 1,000 gram, which is 1 kilogram. So we can verify this as 1 ringgit 10 cents per 100 gram uh, multiplied by 10. So we will get 11 ringgit per kilogram, while brand B we will get well, brand A, sorry, we will get 1 ringgit 20 cent per 100 gram, multiplied by 10, so we will get around 12 ringgit per kilogram. So this confirmed that our simple solution for the cereal box challenge was correct. Okay, so for the next slide is analysis and interpretation of the data. From this solution, I learned several important things, which the first, it shows how mathematics connect to real life. So in our daily life, we often compare prices when shopping. So this skill is genuinely practical. So the second is the method strengthens our understanding of proportional reasoning. If something is cheaper per 100 gram per se, it will always be cheaper per kilogram. And that is a very key mathematical insight. Third, by simplifying the numbers, I was able to reduce calculation anxiety and focus on reasoning instead of getting stuck on decimals. This makes problem solving more approachable and enjoyable. Lastly, this approach prevents conversion errors. So by sticking with 100 gram as a standard unit, so the process stays consistent and accurate as always. So to conclude, using to solve a simpler problem, strategy helped me simplify complex situation into something clear and logical. So it is confirmed that Brand B is the better choice, and it also proved how mathematical reasoning can guide real-world decisions, even in everyday tasks like grocery shopping. This method aligns with what Krulik and Rudnick in 1995, NTCM 2020, and Polya 2014 have emphasized that breaking down complex problems build confidence, improve reasoning, and enhance quantitative literacy. So overall, this project taught me that mathematical reasoning is not just for exams, it's a valuable life skills that help us make smarter, more informed decisions every day. So this is the references that I use for my individual report. Overall, thank you very much.